Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. K-Man Pharmacy Group, with a location in West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The K-Man Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Seaboard Marine, with over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates. Rotary Central, for more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. Fidelity Bank, for all your banking needs, visit fidelitygroup.com. Fidelity, we're good for you. And Roper's Janitorial, complete janitorial service for commercial, industrial, and residential. They get the job done right every time.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record.
For the record.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record.
Hey, good morning and welcome. No, I'm not Mr. Art Connor. He's much more handsome. He rides faster. But as they say, he's lacking one thing. I live in West Bay. Starting Dwayne Ebanks here, sitting in for the Red Honourable Art Connor. Honourable to sit in the seat. Very blessed indeed to be in the studio with the Honourable Opposition Leader, Mr. Arden McLean, and his deputy, Mr. Alpha Suku. Gents, thanks very much. I don't believe people honestly recognize how demanding, taxing, but also dedicated servants like you to the people are. And Mr. McLean, we're joking with Jess, whether it's about fishing, whether it's about a chance to look at farming, or just a chance to see the beautiful things that are within their families. Always a pleasure to see you, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Afternoon. It's morning.
It's morning, man. It's morning.
Good morning, Sterling. I was a little taken aback when I didn't see OC. I wonder what's happening with OC. But good morning to you, and good morning to the rest of the public. And I haven't been here. I didn't come last Friday. And this morning, the other two members of the opposition are absent because they had something else to do. But we'll see how much Alva and I can provide for the public. And there's much to talk about.
Indeed.
Much happening in the country.
Right.
And one of the things I would like to talk about this morning is the traffic on the eastern end of the island, because the opposition are all from the eastern districts, eh? So
yes,
I would like to discuss some of that, and of course the referendum. Now that we have reached that magic mark, and this is historic. So I think we should discuss that. But
yes,
I will see what we do.
Indeed. Well, to you, Mr. Suku. Good morning.
Morning, Sterling. And good to be on with you this morning. I was saying that you'd pull a fast one on me because I haven't been on your show in so long that you decided to come and join me on this one. But
yeah, man.
Just want to say good morning to the listening public, and looking forward to a good show. Hopefully we get quite a few people to call in. But yeah, the traffic issues are right on the front of my mind right now, along with the referendum. But I also wanted to take the opportunity, because I didn't get a chance to do so publicly, to offer my condolences to the family of the late John McLean Sr. We went to the funeral along with the leader of the opposition and all the members of the opposition this weekend. It was a good send-off, but it's also an eye-opening experience. It reminds you of your mortality and what is in the future for us, but also how much you can overlook somebody's accomplishments throughout their life. He did accomplish a lot for East End. I think that East Enders are very good at picking good representatives and holding on to them. I have one next to me that is I also hold in the same regard. But, I wanted to offer my condolences to his family. I didn't know him that well, but I knew his sons especially. And, my heart goes out to them.
I think this is where we see a sense in our communities, that respect that we have for others. And maybe it's time for the country to start to appreciate and more publicly demonstrate that there are certain core values within our society that despite all the changes, we will not allow to sort of go by the wayside. And respect for self, respect for others, respect for property. Sadly, sometimes we see the ways displayed. You hear a police report of someone breaking into someone's home. That was not something that was tolerated, or even sometimes, occurred in the past as frequently as it is now, and it's becoming, that's just another day. Those values need to be championed and challenged, but also we need to be chastised when we infringe upon them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's sad that I keep saying that you see our glory, you don't know a story. And that is a story that is worth telling. I don't think it's been documented properly. I believe that's one of the failings of this country, not to have the history of this country properly documented, and it's scattered all over the place. I think it needs to come to one focal point. But yeah, the lack of respect in this country nowadays, it appears like there's the rule of law has left us. At my age, when I see a police car, my heart starts thumping because out of reverence for the authorities. I have to follow the law, but I don't know. I can't say that what has influenced that definitively. I cannot say, but certainly we have had some outside influences that has not been good for this country, and we evolve somewhere along the way, and things have to happen. But for instance, that segues very well into this the traffic woes we're having. People will naturally try to get to where they want to go, and they'll use shortcuts and stuff like that. But they have to be respectful about it as well. You see them turning 2 lanes into 4 lanes. I see the NRA has put up some traffic calming devices along the side of the road to prevent that. But there's some very aggressive driving on these roads nowadays. But let's look at the traffic. We talk about roads, and we need roads. And yes, when I was there, 2005, 2009, I did the East-West Arterial, and nobody has extended it since. And maybe we can point at governments and say they should have all put on a mile here or a mile there. But there are other consequences that determine what happens too. We're importing 400 cars per month. I went to a road safety meeting a few weeks ago with the commissioner and all the technocrats, and I was informed that there are 750 people, over 700 people, on a waiting list to get their license, to do driving tests. Now those are not school leavers and young Caymanians up and coming. It cannot be. So if you extrapolate from that, that tells me at some stage in the not too distant future, we are going to have at least 700 more people on the road and 700 more cars. And if that trend continues, then this country can't sustain that. It cannot. Look at what is happening right now with the traffic. 2 hours from East End. It's ridiculous. And no, I can say, yesterday after doing some further research, I learned that the government has changed the school start time for schools. from 8 o'clock until 8:30. Now, the unintended consequence of that action has now put us in a 2-hour road trip from the eastern districts. That cannot be sustained. We cannot sustain that. Lost production, fuel burn, everything. Stress, the stress is coming from that. But then when I research and I talk to the bus drivers, what happened is that when it was 8 o'clock start time, they had to deliver the kids to school at 7:45. And they were off the road by probably 10 minutes to 8 or thereabouts because they park in town or wherever. Now they can deliver them 8:30, 8:15. So that is a half hour one way or the other. So you had the buses and the parents who are delivering their children. You remember these things don't happen in summer when the schools are out. It only just happens since school open now. And you got all of those, the parents who delivering their children and the buses off of the road by 7:45, 10 to 8. Before, that's what we had. By changing it to 8:30, we have now put them right in the mix of those who were coming behind them to go to work who didn't have any children to deliver to school. So that's where that is one of the major problems for this traffic problem. Major concerns with reasons for it. Mind you, we had traffic woes, but not as bad as we're having them now. So I don't know if you can build out. I was fortunate that between 2005 and 2009, we were at that point that roads hadn't been built for 20 years. So by me putting a few roads in, it alleviated the traffic immediately. But when since 2009, you're having thousands of cars coming in and people coming in per year, it requires a little better planning. And it's reached that crisis point, and people are not. For instance, I have been on top of this forever. In April, I submitted a question to the minister about the East-West Arterial, and I got the answer yesterday, coincidentally, in writing. You know, the minister would have to answer as to why that was, but. It is sad that we have done nothing.
Right. Well, when we come back from the break, Mr. McLean, if you would, perhaps share some of that, and we can talk more about those woes and traffic, perhaps even delve into some potential, solutions as possible. The Honourable Arden McLean, together with the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Suku, are our guests. Please stay tuned for the record.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, sponsored by Cayman National Bank. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
With 2 consecutive decades of milestone growth, the 1970s saw the continuation of this profound change. In 1970, the population of the Cayman Islands was 10,249, with only 403 visitors. The International College of the Cayman Islands was also founded. 1971 saw the cadastral survey began, ensuring that all land was registered. In 1972, the new constitution was introduced, under which Cayman is governed by a legislative assembly, executive council, and a governor. The Cayman currency was introduced. The Humane Society began operations, and the Lions Club of Grand Cayman was chartered. In 1973, Cayman's first radio station opened at ICCI. ICCI-FM served as a training workshop for broadcasting students at the International College of the Cayman Islands. In 1975, the National Council of Social Service, later renamed the National Council of Voluntary Organizations, was founded, along with the Kiwanis Club of Grand Cayman being chartered. In 1976, Radio Cayman began broadcasting and the first Pirates Week Festival was held. 1979 saw Cayman Water Company Limited begin producing desalinated water at its Governor's Harbor plant. The launch of the Boys Brigade and the annual census report showed a population boom to 16,677. Radio Cayman's historical facts vignettes are proudly brought to you by Cayman National, with branches on all 3 Cayman Islands. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs. Cayman National is hosting a vehicle loan fair on Saturday, 14 September from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Cayman National Recreational Field located across from the main Elgin Avenue branch. Local dealers and insurance providers will be on site with random spot prices, refreshments, and a bouncing castle for the kids. Come out September 14th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and make that new car you've been dreaming about possible with Cayman National Bank.
It was a day that changed my life. No words can describe the feelings of seeing my baby boy sick for the first time. The overwhelming feeling of fear to be responsible for his health and happiness became my priority. So I did what any nurturing mother would do when their baby is sick. I took him to get some of the best medicine possible.
CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy understands the importance of careful decisions you make every day for your family. Our staff work towards healthcare excellence and providing the most current and up-to-date training with pharmaceutical care, so you can feel confident in knowing that your family is safe with the right medication. At CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, we take care of your health. Have you seen the latest? Cayman has been ranked the most expensive place to live. It's time to buy smart. It's time to buy Ropers. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices at Ropers. Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511. Email janitorial@ropers.ky. Clean up your spending with Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511. Ropers Janitorial also offers complete janitorial service for commercial, industrial, and residential. They get the job done right every time. Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511.
I'm going to Vant Motors to test drive the new 7-seater Rush.
They have some really sweet deals going on now, not true?
Yep, on SUVs. And they sweeten the deal by giving you a warm oven-baked cookie with each test drive.
Better test drive more than one, just to be sure.
Take a test drive for a sweet surprise this month at Vant Motors. Test drive any SUV and receive a freshly baked cookie. It's our way of saying thanks for dropping by to check out our huge sale on every SUV in stock. Save up to $4,400 during Vant's summer SUV sale. That's every SUV in stock on sale for thousands off or cash back. Sweeten the deal only at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
Hi, I'm thinking of buying a car from the States. Which port do you ship out of?
Hi, we ship out of Miami, Houston, and Brooklyn. Just let us know your port of choice and we can provide you with a quotation and answer any questions you may have on insuring and protecting your vehicle during its journey.
Shipping shore to shore, Seaboard.
In 1996, Rotary Club Central led the way initiating a disaster fund to prepare and assist our community toward recovery. The Rotary Clubs of the Cayman Islands then expanded this valuable instrument, the Rotary Cayman Disaster Fund. Thereafter, Rotary District 7020, a group of 86 clubs over 10 countries in 16 islands across the Northwest Caribbean, grew this idea, the Rotary District 7020 Disaster Fund. Today, this Rotary Central idea has worked relief and recovery, assisting communities throughout this region. Rotary, with you before, during, and after. Rotary, connecting.
Cayman, get ready for this year's 2019 Fidelity Fun Run Series. Join us opposite John Gray High School for the first 3 Saturdays in September at 7:30 a.m. for an exciting 2-mile run. Whether you're a serious competitor looking for a fun family activity or you want to take an early stroll, the Fidelity Fun Run Series is the event for you. Strollers and pets are welcome, and we've got trophies up for grabs as well. Register today for the races on September 7th, 14th, and 21st and get your Fun Run t-shirt. To register, visit CaymanActive.com for more information.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Art Connor.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back. Honored to sit in the seat to fill the shoes of Mr. Art Connor. And in a few hours, you can join me at Talk Today. But until now, the Honourable Opposition Leader, Mr. Art McLean, together with his Deputy, Mr. Alvis Suku. Gents, thanks very much for coming aboard.
Thanks again, Sterling. I was just receiving correspondence from someone, government, that is saying that my timelines are wrong, that nothing has changed at the schools.
Well, other than the start time is now 8.
But my understanding was that the start time had the delivery times then of children had changed by half hour. It had gone back down to like half hour, gone forward. Well, if I'm wrong, then I can always be corrected. But no one can tell me that what the people in the Eastern Districts, specifically Eastenders and in general Eastern Districts, that these woes have been there, that it was taking 2 hours to get to Georgetown. On Monday, I was going to the flag lowering in honor of John McLean here at the Government Administration Building. And I knew I had to be there by 8:30. I left Savannah, where I live, at 7:45. And I drove into the parking lot behind the Immigration Building at 8:45. This morning, I left my Savannah at 6:37, and I was by Jose at 6:50. Usually, coming on this radio station, I would leave home 5 to 7. You dare not leave Savannah 5 to 7.
Yeah,
you dare not leave Savannah 5 to 7 now, and that was the regular last year for me. No, I couldn't leave 10 minutes past 7 or anything like that to get here 7:30, but anyway, between 10 and 5 minutes to 7, and I'm in town by 7:10, and we had little traffic on the road. You dare not do that now. So don't tell me that it hasn't been, that this is not the unintended consequence of something to do with the schools. Something has happened. Now, I may have it wrong, or in some regards, it may be that they were supposed to deliver them at a different time, but it's obvious a timeline has been changed at the schools, which is affecting this, which is compounding our problem. Every morning I'm getting calls from people coming down from East End. He was just showing me when someone was by Midland at 6-something.
Yeah.
And at 7:15, they're still in Savannah?
They hadn't reached Savannah yet.
Hadn't reached Savannah?
So you're looking at a 2-hour commute from East End to town.
and last year that wasn't happening. Summer it doesn't happen. And like I said, I put a question to the minister in April about this, and I have been following up with him. And he has promised to give me an update. I received no update. But my question in April was, can the Honourable Minister please give an update on the continuation of the East-West Arterial, including timelines and phases? The answer that I got yesterday in writing. Mr. Speaker, preliminary discussions were held with the NRA regarding the extension of the roadway. I have given the NRA the directive to provide me with plan for the continuation of the east-west arterial between Hush Road to Northwood and then on to Local Gardens, considered Phase 1 and 2 respectively. Mr. Speaker, NRA recommends that the roadway be extended using the same methodology and in its current configuration. That is, with two outer lanes and a substantially wide center median capable of facilitating up to 4 additional lanes if and when needed in the future. You remember who started that? The NRA had previously performed exploratory works, trial pits, as far east as Northwood, which I'd done before I left. So its engineers are fairly familiar with the terrain of the area. Mr. Speaker, other than the necessary acquisition of a residential home on Hush Road in the path of the future corridor, the remainder of the route is uninhabited and could be built fairly quickly. Mr. Speaker, the NRA recommends Phase 1 and 2, which are approximately 3 miles, will begin later this year and constructed over the next 2 years. How do you listen?
No,
obviously. You want?
Yeah. I do apologize, but a cliffhanger. We can get Mr. McLean's sentiments after the news. Stay tuned for the record.
Thank you, Sterling. And the studio time now by Price Right is 8:00. It's a minute after 8.
Price Right is Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore, making your dollar go further with huge savings and no membership fees. Get more of the things you use every day at the right price. But it's not just grocery and health and beauty. Price Right has a full range of products from office to automotive, patio furnishings to kitchen appliances, and even electronics. And since warehouse prices mean savings for you, everything is priced right at Price Right, Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by Sagicor. Let us put a smile on your face. Call 949-8211.
Access information. Your community. News and information. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
With your latest news, I'm Karsley Fuller. The government says it welcomes the completion of the process to verify signatures on the cruise port referendum petition. Radio Cayman's April Cummings reports.
Premier the Honourable Alden McLaughlin expressed a hint of impatience in his written statement. He said the drive to build a new cargo and cruise berthing facility for the Cayman Islands has been going on for at least the last 6 years while his government has been in office, and the referendum process, well, it's been going on for a year now. With a preferred bidder now ready to deliver the cargo and cruise port enhancement the country needs, he says, quote, we need to get on and bring things to a conclusion. Mr. McLaughlin repeated a statement he had made previously on Radio Cayman's For the Record. He says many Caymanians signed the petition because they had questions and concerns about the port. But he says they are answering those questions as they continue to release more information now that the preferred bidder has been appointed. The Premier also said the Cabinet would be turning its attention immediately to considering a draft bill, including a proposed formulation of the referendum question and the date on which the referendum will be held. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
The Cayman Islands Fire Service responds to a blaze at the Georgetown landfill Thursday afternoon. A report of smoke being detected was received by them at 1:42, and fire crews from the Central Fire Station were sent to the site. Once there, crews saw smoke, but not necessarily flames. The CIFS worked with the Department of Environmental Health to excavate and douse a, quote, deep-seated pocket where the smoke was coming from in order to resolve the issue as quickly as possible. Fire crews worked through the night to ensure that there was no reignition. This is the second time fire crews have addressed a fire at the landfill this month. And an unmarked police vehicle crashes into a utility pole, causing traffic delays. Around 9:30 on Wednesday, the vehicle was headed westbound along Bauden Road with lights and sirens activated when it maneuvered to avoid a collision with a private vehicle and hit a utility pole. No one was hurt, and the matter is under investigation. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Jerry Smith. The family of Robert Mugabe have bowed to pressure and finally agreed to bury the former Zimbabwean president at Heroes Acre in Harare. Mr. Mugabe's nephew, Leo, told the BBC there would be a public ceremony at the state cemetery on Sunday. His body will then return to his home village, where clan chiefs and family will perform their own ceremonies, after which it will come back to be buried in the capital. Senior prosecutors in the Czech Republic have upheld a preliminary decision to drop fraud charges against the Prime Minister Andrej Babiš and several of his family members. Mr. Babiš had been charged with allegedly misappropriating European Union funds before he entered Czech politics. He's always denied wrongdoing, but the charges had dogged his political career for years. Turkey's former Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoglu has announced he's launching a new political movement to challenge President Erdogan. He described the move as a duty to the nation. The Speaker of Britain's lower house of Parliament is facing criticism from some quarters after promising what he called procedural creativity if the Prime Minister ignored a law designed to hamper a no-deal Brexit. One pro-Brexit MP said John Bercow's role had become irretrievably politicised. The authorities in Indonesia and Malaysia have issued severe smog alerts as fires rage in large sections of their rainforests. Schools have been closed and face masks issued. Satellite imagery indicates almost 1,000 fires are burning in the Indonesian province of Kalimantan and Sumatra, while 10 are burning in Malaysia. Officials in the Indian capital say they will enforce strict restrictions on private cars for 11 days in November to curb pollution. And those are the latest stories from BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by Sagicor. Let us put a smile on your face. Call 949-8211.
Think about something that makes you happy. Did it make you smile? We know it did, because that's what we do at Sagicor. Put smiles on our clients' faces every day. With a large range of products to cover your family, it's no wonder most locals choose Sagicor for their life insurance needs. Serving the community for over 25 years. Let us put a smile on your face. Call your Sagicor advisor today.
What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
We at The Wharf have the only multi-purpose conference room in Cayman, providing high-speed internet and all state-of-the-art audio and visual, and are now open and ready for your meetings and events. Multiple wireless microphones and Dolby surround speakers make your presentations on the giant screen clear and interactive. Imagine your meetings with a view, a full bar and kitchen on site where all your needs are cared for, just a few steps away from the Caribbean Sea. All F&B will be customized to your preference. Call 949-2231 or email info@wharf.ky to start planning your waterfront meeting now.
Sometimes people leave you halfway through the wood. No one is alone.
Once upon a time, all your wishes came true, and you lived happily ever after. Or so you thought. Come see Cayman Drama Society's presentation of the musical Into the Woods.
Into the woods to grandmother's house and home before dark.
The show opens Thursday, September 12th, closes Saturday, October 5th. Tickets are selling fast. Order yours now at cds.ky.
Into the woods and out of the woods.
To be continued.
The Weather Report is proudly sponsored by Super Stitch Sewing and Fabric Center, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasador Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
Thinking of decorating your home or your apartment? Then Super Stitch is the place for all your household needs. We have sheets, comforters, bathroom accessories, curtains, and a whole lot more. We are the original curtain store with curtains for every room in the house. Some special now in curtains for $10 a panel. Yes, just $10 a panel. Come see us today at Super Stitch. Super Stitch, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasadora Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
Good morning. Time now for the latest weather report. Current temperature is 84 degrees. Relative humidity is 88%. Barometric pressure 29.86 inches and rising. The winds are calm. Overnight low temperature was 79 degrees. Synopsis indicate light winds and slight seas expected over the Cayman area for the next 24 hours due to a weak pressure gradient across the northwest Caribbean. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area moving towards the west. Now the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today and tonight calling for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of afternoon showers, and temperatures will be in the low 90s today and will fall to the upper 70s tonight. Your winds will be light and variable and seas will be smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Today's high tide will occur this morning at 8:54, low tide this afternoon at 3, and a high tide again tonight at 9:16. The sun will set this evening at 6:28 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:13. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Sunday morning.
Superstitch Sewing and Fabric Center was the proud sponsor of the Weather Report, your one-stop shop for all of your household items, craft items, jewelry, beads, and decorations, and much more. Call Superstitch at 949-2833 or email customer care at superstitch.com.ky.
Thinking of decorating your home or your apartment? Then Superstitch is the place for all your household needs. We have sheets, comforters, bathroom accessories, curtains, and a whole lot more. We are the original curtain store with curtains for every room in the house. Some special Nolan curtains for $10 a panel. Yes, just $10 a panel. Come see us today at Superstitch. Superstitch, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasadora Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
From happy beginnings to happy ever after,
Brit K protects your lifestyle with the best insurance cover at the best possible price.
Health insurance with far-reaching benefits.
95% of claims settled in 5 days.
Low-cost life insurance.
And investments.
Security in retirement.
With a custodian pension plan.
For happy beginnings and a happy ever after,
visit BritK.ky or call 949-8699.
Brit K, where people come first.
The Cayman Islands Seafarers Association wishes to remind all members the September Social will take place on Tuesday, 17 September at 7 p.m. in the Seafarers Hall, 11 Victory Avenue, Prospect. It is expected that all members come dressed in their CISA shirt. Transportation will be provided as follows. 3 buses will leave from the West Bay Town Hall at 6 p.m. The Barnes bus route in Georgetown leaves the public library parking area at 6:30, stopping at the Cayman Compass building and the airport Fosters. The bus marked Bobo $1 public transport and is blue in color will do pickups from British Cayman, Uncle Bill's, Walker's Road, Shedden Road, and Crew Road. In East End, the bus pickups are the primary school parking lot, the gas station, and Wreck of the 10 sales starting at 5:45. In Northside, pickups are at Chisholm Store and the soccer field starting at 6:15. In Bottomtown, pickups are at the Lorna gas station at 6:45, and in Savannah, pickups at the gas station next to Wendy's. They look forward to seeing everyone on Tuesday, the 17th of September, 7 p.m. at the Seafarers Hall.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look at traffic. Traffic coming from the east is bumper to say the least. Also on the Linford Pearson Highway, traffic is heavy. Steady traffic coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, and steady traffic on Huldah Avenue, Thomas Russell Way, traffic flowing moderately, and moderate flow of traffic coming from the Butterfield roundabout, heading towards the Industrial Park area. And traffic is moving along pretty good on Edward Street and on Shedden Road, not looking too bad, as well as on Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, moderate flow of traffic. Light to moderate traffic flow coming from the Westway 4-way stop. And on Crew Road, traffic is busy in some sections, other sections steady. And traffic light to moderate on Owen Roberts Drive. That's the very latest on your traffic. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12. We'll have another traffic report just for you. Have a good morning. Buckle up.
Introduce yourself to the Fresh Fit 6-inch Whey at Subway.
That's 7 subs that have 400 calories or less.
These are healthier choices made with fresh options, making healthy delicious.
Choose from roast beef, the Subway Club, or Veggie Delight.
There's oven-roasted chicken, turkey breast, black forest ham, and sweet onion chicken teriyaki.
With 400 calories or less and loaded with flavor, enjoy the Fresh Fit subs at Subway. Available island-wide and 24 hours a day at Anderson Square and Centennial Towers.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
There are plenty of reasons to be a Logic customer. There's lightning-fast internet connectivity. There's the great overall customer experience. And now, you can improve your Wi-Fi connectivity with Logic Boost Wi-Fi for free. With Boost, you can extend your freedom to stream, game, and download seamlessly anywhere in your home, like your patio or your underground lair if you have one. Sign up now for any Logic Bundle package and get free Boost Wi-Fi for a limited time. Visit logic.ky for details.
Think about something that makes you happy. Did it make you smile? We know it did, because that's what we do at Sagicor. Put smiles on our clients' faces every day. With a large range of products to cover your family, it's no wonder most locals choose Sagicor for their life insurance needs. Serving the community for over 25 years. Let us put a smile on your face. Call your Sagicor advisor today.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. And it truly is a distinct pleasure not only to be able to sit with the elected members of the Legislative Assembly, but to recognize the diligence and commitment and the true dedication to service the country. In the studio, the Honourable Opposition Leader, Mr. Arden McLean, together with his Deputy, Mr. Alva Suku. Again, thanks, gents, for not only serving the country, but being available so promptly and so directly to access the country's thoughts. Mr. McLean.
On the break, Sterling, I double-checked my facts and what I was saying, and I was in the opposite direction. Mm-hmm. School used to start at 8:30, and now it's starting at 8, as opposed to 8 and change to 8:30. Mm-hmm. So the information I got was wrong, but it is half hour one way. Now, what has happened is that parents are leaving that much earlier, which causing the problem. I have said for years that we should, I don't know if we can mandate it, that we, all public bus students, all public school students go by the transportation that is provided, public bus. Maybe we need to start looking at that, because if you have 100 buses on the road as opposed to 3,000 cars, I think that will assist with alleviating some of the problem. And I've said for years that people should utilize the public bus system. And I know parents want to take their kids to school, and sometimes the child get up late, and that occasional time I can appreciate. But why should parents have to inconvenience themselves to go off the beaten track when they go into work, but in a lot of instances too, parents don't have anyone to take care of their kids when they're leaving for work, if they're leaving early. And there will be exceptions, but I think more children needs to utilize the public bus transportation, the school bus transportation system. And that will assist with this traffic woes, because those same parents are in traffic too, you know. And I believe maybe we need to do that. But I had to make that correction that it is the opposite way. That's why all this traffic is on the road now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I will say, speaking of busing, the public transportation, we need more people using that too, but we need to improve that. And we need to not only look at the efficiency of it, but the quality of it. I just coming here this morning, Sterling, right up on the road passing Hurlers, I had a bus overtake me because you're in two lanes coming down. They overtook me and cut me off to pull off to pick up somebody. I know the brake light's not working because they've made a full stop right in front of me and they're blocking half of my lane. No brake lights. I don't know if the indicator's working or they're not using them because I didn't see no indicator lights. Now, what I had to do then was kind of swerve out to go around them because I couldn't stop in time, causing a danger to the cars coming on the other side of me, on my right side. That kind of stuff is unacceptable. That is not reliable public transportation. That is taking a risk with your life. They need to sort that out because people are not going to use public transportation if that is what they got to subject themselves to in the morning. I'm not going to get on that bus if I know that's how that person is going to be driving. And most people are going to make that decision. So you can't encourage people to use public transportation when that is inadequate.
If I may ask with that, and we do have a call as we go, but in that instance, if a member of the public, in this particular member of the Legislative Assembly, witnessing that, either the public, but specifically someone like in your position, were to call the requisite authority and say, listen, this is what I witnessed. Any consequence, any action, anything that would happen that would give the public confidence to say, well, if this is the behavior that we see, we could see some redress.
Well, you're funny you say that. I witnessed a public bus almost kill a gentleman, well, an older gentleman who was getting out of the back of my vehicle with a walking stick on a pedestrian crossing. And I wrote the public transport board about it. They suspended his license, revoked it, and then reinstated it. That's what we get. Because, I don't want to see people lose their livelihood. God knows we all have to live, regardless of where you come from or who you're working for. But there needs to be some control with behavior. And if you cannot behave, then you run the risk of the consequences of that lack of behavior. Mm-hmm. I was turning into the road a few days ago. This was Minister 3. And the lights were flashing at the Savannah School zone. And a BMW came down on the inside lane. And I didn't have on a radar, but I have been driving long enough to know that car was doing between 70 and 80 miles an hour. Okay? I didn't think, Sterling, that in my lifetime, I would see this country come to the point where we would have to put mechanisms in place to control people's behavior. But the time has come. And maybe I'm a little too draconian. I set up those school zones as a minister. When I was minister, we legitimized them. Since then, I believe the time has come for us to put cameras there, license plate recognition cameras, and charge $500 every time you're doing that kind of speed. You'll soon stop. I promise you'll soon stop.
Corrective behavior. Mr. McLean, Mr. School, we do have some callers online. To our callers, thank you for your patience, thank you for your attention, and certainly thank you for participating. Good afternoon, good morning, good night, good day. Hey, welcome. It is For the Record. How are you today?
Yeah, good morning, Dwayne. Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Mr. Suku.
Morning.
I, too, am tired of what's going on here with traffic. I don't know who authorizes the importation of all these cars and stuff like that. But I'll venture to say this morning, gentlemen, that 10 to 15% of the vehicles you see on the road are either unlicensed, they have no insurance, and nobody knows who they are, because I've seen cars with license tags just from foreign countries on top of them driving around, and I've seen things that it breaks my heart to think that this little island that I live in, And it seems to me it's all because of $2 they get for import duty that they can get to waste on some stupid project. And nobody seems to know what to do. We got too many cars in Cayman. Everywhere you turn, there's cars, and people are driving that never drove in their life, and yet we continue to import more cars. We got rent-a-car places that I don't believe they even got a license to rent a car, but they got a sticker on their car saying they rent a cars. What are we going to do, gentlemen, that we're destroying this island? The love of money, the Bible says that, is the root of all kinds of evil, and nobody seems to care as long as they... oh Lord Jesus, help us. What's going on?
But I don't, let me say, I don't believe, I don't subscribe to what you're saying about it for the love of money and for a few dollars, that's why we allow the importation. I don't subscribe to that. I believe what has happened in our country is that when we were just us, few cars imported and we couldn't afford it and stuff like that. And we put importation on it. Then in recent times, remember when we were having difficulties with the budget during the 2008 recession and shortly thereafter, we staggered the import duties on vehicles, like capital gain tax, so to speak. So the more expensive the vehicle, the higher the duties was, so that you could afford it. That's the capital gain tax regime they applied. We didn't take time, and here is where I'm at. We didn't take time to look at the consequences of what would happen later on, wherein we import cars. We didn't realize the importation of people was going to affect the importation of cars and transport, vehicles, whatever they are. We didn't pay enough attention, and that's our fault. I don't think any government go in there and say, let's import more cars so we can get more dollars to go do something else. I don't subscribe to that for any government, now, the past, or the future. But it is our fault. We didn't pay close enough attention to it. Now it has become, it has reached crisis proportion, and we need to address it. Now is when you're going to get what we need to address it with. You're going to get cry out from the Caymanians, the people who live here, who have the right to do it. For instance, and Mr. Miller has said this recently, another crisis we're getting on our hands now. Mr. Miller and I brought a motion years ago about people with boats over 16 feet to be to put a training program in place and a licensing program and enforce it. It was accepted. Mr. Miller brought it, I seconded it. And you see what's happening? People, anybody come here, make $300,000-$400,000. They see somebody in a boat going out Stingray City or Sandbar, and they go and buy a boat. And they have never seen a boat in their life except from afar. They don't know how to operate it. And now we're getting deaths on the water, the same way we're getting them on the road. And I agree with him. People come here and they get their driver's license. When I wanted to license everybody, and they all had to go through the same regime that Caymanians were going through when I turned 17, when my children turned 17, they had to get the learner's license. And we went into this thing about international license transfer. Some of these people come from back roads that they never saw a highway. And we're giving them transferring these licenses. We don't know how they got their license overseas. And I still will hold my view that everyone comes here needs to go through it. And don't tell me because you're a lawyer that you don't need to go through it because you were driving in England. No, England is different. And I don't care where you come from. It is my view that you need to understand the roads of this country.
Call you still there, sir?
Yeah, let me finish now because I had one more couple of things I want to say quickly. I'm not going to prolong it, but I just wanted to say that the things that I see that's going on here, gentlemen, is this. That we have situations where, give you an example. Back in 1986 when I came from the States, I realized that we had all the real estate places where mostly you had Caymanians, at least Caymanians, working in them. We have got a situation now where you can't hardly find a Caymanian except for one or two places that are running the real estate companies. A lot of money in that business, you know. We let people come here and we give them whatever they want because I think, I'm going to say this and I don't care who didn't like it, but I think these are the kind of things that happen when we get people here who are, I don't want to use the words corrupt, but the word corrupt comes to mind. Here's another thing I'm going to say. We got a situation now where we just had a big storm in the Bahamas. Hundreds of thousands of people were out of homes and stuff. Cayman has got a situation that if you see a hurricane, because I was driving up Eastern Avenue the other morning after I passed the Cocoon Center, I looked at some of them little houses, they're not houses, little places where people live. And if government doesn't do something about that thing because they're renting these places, I was told by somebody, for $500 and $600 a month, and they don't even have a decent bathroom. I want this guy to understand this. I'm just talking about what I know. We got a situation again where we got these so-called mobile vehicles. They're selling food. Now just imagine somebody with a legitimate business and a building he got to pay rent on, or he got to, he has overhead. He got a staff that they got to wash dishes. They have this, and they got to have bathrooms. They got to have all this stuff. And we let these mobile people come out here, and they're cleaning up. We don't even know what they're selling, if it's healthy or not, because there's no inspectors. The same thing with housing. We don't have any housing inspectors to go out. And when they go to these places, and they believe me, people are ripping off poor people because they have no other choice, and they will rather live in some of these dumps than to be on the street. What I'm saying, gentlemen, you are legislators, and I'm not just talking to you two, but all of those out there, they have to take the time to look and see what's going on. Caymanians are going, oh, Jesus, help us. And nobody seems to care because they sit up there in the glasses where they work and they collect big salaries, a lot of them, and they don't do nothing. Okay, and I'll just make one more point here. In West Bay, I counted 12 buses coming from school the other afternoon, coming to West Bay being school. We were supposed to have a Beulah Smith High School built in West Bay. I haven't heard one word from 4 people that are in charge in the West Bay thing there. Why don't we have a high school in West Bay? These are the questions that I ask. Nobody seems to care. You see, and because, I can't.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks for sharing, and gentlemen, respectfully, as we, Mr. Suzuki reminds us with a break, Mr. Suzuki, Mr. McLean, when you come back, your sentiments, as well as our callers, please stay tuned for the record.
Have you seen the latest? Cayman has been ranked the most expensive place to live. It's time to buy smart. It's time to buy Ropers. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices at Ropers. Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511. Email janitorial@ropers.ky. Clean up your spending with Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511. Ropers Janitorial also offers complete janitorial service for commercial, industrial, and residential. They get the job done right every time. Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511.
It was a day that changed my life. No words can describe the feelings of seeing my baby boy sick for the first time. The overwhelming feeling of fear to be responsible for his health and happiness became my priority. So I did what any nurturing mother would do when their baby is sick. I took him to get some of the best medicine possible.
CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy understands the importance of careful decisions you make every day for your family. Our staff work towards healthcare excellence and providing the most current and up-to-date training with pharmaceutical care, so you can feel confident in knowing that your family is safe with the right medication. At CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, we take care of your health.
I'm going to Vamp Motors to test drive the new 7-seater Rush.
They have some really sweet deals going on now, not true?
Yep, on SUVs. And they sweeten the deal by giving you a warm oven-baked cookie with each test drive.
Better test drive more than one, just to be sure.
Take a test drive for a sweet surprise this month at Vamp Motors. Test drive any SUV and receive a freshly baked cookie. It's our way of saying thanks for dropping by to check out our huge sale on every SUV in stock. Save up to $4,400 during Vamp's summer SUV sale. That's every SUV in stock on sale for thousands off or cash back. Sweeten the deal only at Vamp Motors, Walkers Road.
In 1996, Rotary Club Central led the way initiating a disaster fund to prepare and assist our community toward recovery. The Rotary Clubs of the Cayman Islands then expanded this valuable instrument, the Rotary Cayman Disaster Fund. Thereafter, Rotary District 7020, a group of 86 clubs over 10 countries in 16 islands across the Northwest Caribbean, grew this idea, the Rotary District 7020 Disaster Fund. Today, this Rotary Central idea has worked relief and recovery, assisting communities throughout this region. Rotary, with you before, during, and after. Rotary, connecting the world.
Hey, are those new glasses on Will?
Yeah, we went to Optical Outlook. Wham, bam, easy exam. Finally, an exam he could pass. And we had the glasses the next day. Easiest part of our back-to-school shopping for sure.
Book your child's eye exam today at Optical Outlook. Call 746-2020. Get half off a complete pair of glasses with any student's eye exam, now extended to September 14th. Come see the difference with Optical Outlook, located in Caymanian Village.
Terms and conditions apply.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome. Good morning and hello. Listen, if it's going to keep your attention as you hear a different voice, it's going to be fun.
So used to it.
I am used to it, but that one was deliberate. Just as a little teaser. Sometimes they say you get a little bit too, caught up in things. You got to smile. Now in the studio, I'm honored to be able to sit and speak with our elected members. In this case, the Honourable Opposition Leader, Mr. Ard McLean, together with the Deputy, Mr. Alva Sukoon. I say that because I don't think there's a people we're recognizing how easy it is for us not only to access our elected members of the Legislative Assembly, but to have them be available. Now, we're lamenting the woes of traffic, 2 hours in from East End. But that's a commitment, dedication to get here so that people can hear your voices. As we go to the phones first, though, Mr. Suku, you wanted to share.
Well, I saw someone make a comment on social media last night that the politicians don't care about the traffic problem because we don't have to deal with it. But I tell you what, I got to deal with it because I may not be sitting in it every single morning. But yesterday I spent a half an hour with a constituent who was in it. I don't know which experience was worse, hers or mine, because she gave me an earful. But I did promise her that I would address it to the extent that I could. And of course, it's part and parcel of this job, Sterling, that when constituents have issues and concerns, they come to us. You might not be able to fix the problem because, as we are now, we're opposition members. We can't set government policy. The government has the numbers to control the budget and so forth, but we can advocate. I did meet with Minister Hugh yesterday, actually, to discuss a number of issues, including this one. And, we talked about some potential proposals, solutions that he's putting forward. Those will come to the House for budget considerations, most of them. But what he's showed me so far, I believe that is a good start to dealing with the problem. But this is a long-term solution. This problem didn't just happen overnight, so it's going to take a while to deal with it. If you have to build more roads and so on, it's going to take time. Mr. McLean alluded to that fact early on, that what we should have probably done is taken a more piecemeal approach. And as the country develops and grows and the population grows, then you develop your infrastructure along with it. He was very good at doing that when he was minister for roads. I know that a lot of the roads now that we thank God we have, he got put in place. But I relate that to what is going on with Cruise Berthen as well. That's another planned huge development by the government. But what other considerations for infrastructure around that are being made right now? I can't speak to any that I've heard of other than the beautification, the rejuvenation of Georgetown. But you got to look at the impact, the far-reaching impacts. But something that I think government has to consider now is making it mandatory that the private schools have buses as well. That is something that would probably alleviate a lot of the traffic in the morning as well, or help to alleviate it. But it's these sort of creative solutions that we have to come up with now to deal with these problems. I felt a little more at ease after I spoke to the minister yesterday, but again, it all comes down to budget and priorities, and is the government going to put forward all his solutions? We don't know.
So it also comes down to the Nike advertisement.
Just do it.
Just do it. We could get it done.
Yeah.
It has to be done. If you delay the project for later on, it'll cost more,
Right. I want to ask you about that because you referenced the minister's response to you, but let's go to the phones when the callers have been there. Thank you for your patience and for holding on. Good morning. Welcome.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Elvis here. Good morning, Mr. McLean. Good morning, Mr. Albert.
Good morning.
Yeah, we're listening to on and now for a long time about the traffic board and all that. First of all, people on 3-month permission to be allowed to drive no cars, period. And it's something else I want to talk about now. When everybody was shooting up each other, they gave a gun amnesty. When everybody were overstaying, they gave an overstaying amnesty. Now half the cars on the road not licensed, they give an amnesty on that. Now, Elvis Jeffrey McKeever is begging on the opposition, the position, the government, give us an amnesty on the ganja. Let's talk about that. Let's free up our prisons, wipe out our police records, that our young Caymanians, instead of them picking up a gun, they can get a job. Because you look at and say that we didn't plan for the traffic. I know and I didn't plan for the guns that's showing up now in people's face to take their money. We have to do something about this. Look at the whole world is changing, and it's like everybody's afraid of this thing. I don't know if you guys listened to the Honorable Steve McPhee yesterday, because I want to read my call to say God bless his soul. May he live to be another 50 years. Mr. McLean, Mr. Sokol, it is time for honor legislators to get together, get round the round table and say, listen to me. Let's see what's going on. We have a great tourist program. We have a great economy. And with that, people want entertainment. Some want to go have the cocktails. Some want to smoke the little weed. Some want to go look woman. They're lonely. And we got to live with that. We got to stop hiding our face. Look at the lottery. There's millions of dollars on the street, and we're not getting a dollar out of it. Wasting police time to charge a man $400. We got to come out. Got the Cayman, we're still in the 1920 or something like that. Somewhere before I born. And I born in 58. I got locked up with marijuana when I was 15 years old. And I got locked up with marijuana when I was 60. you know I ain't stopping. So something got changed, gentlemen. Let's get together and change this. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
I think I need to respond to that because I know Elvis very well, like we all do. And I hope Elvis is listening. He said that, I think in essence he said, and he can call back if this is not what he meant, that we're doing nothing about it. That's not true. If that's what he meant. Way back when, a few years back, 6-8 years ago, Mr. Miller and I moved the motion to change the law to allow convictions to be spent earlier. And in response to that, let me make it very clear. Alden, the Premier now, Alden distinguish the difference between what the other government did. Alden's administration brought 2 bills to the House in recent time. One of them was the spent conviction law. And I want Elvis to listen closely. I think we don't listen as closely as we should to the legislature. The spent conviction allows you to apply to that board, and your convictions are expunged. And then no one can use it against you. The law specifically says that if your convictions have been expunged, when you go to apply for anything and it says, have you had a conviction in the past? You said no. You can say no without any repercussions on it. Like you go do a visa and what have you. That's all in place. Premier Alden now, his administration brought another piece of legislation, which is called the caution law.
The cautions, yeah.
Mr. Miller and I, at that time, got them to accept an amendment to that law to allow it to include drugs. Okay? What happens is if you admit to the police that you were wrong, say you had something for use or something like that, and you admit to the police that you were wrong, they will caution you. Now, if you get up to 3 of them, then you have to go to court. Okay? So, in essence, what that piece of legislation did was not legalize drugs, but it decriminalized it.
So it's all drugs or just some?
Illicit drugs, it is for everything. You understand? So if you committed an offense out there, like doing something and you admit to it that you were wrong, now they're going to record that so that in the future, within a specified period of time, they catch you again. And, once you hit the 3rd one, they're going to... Mm-hmm. So all those things has been done in the past. Yeah. They have been done. So it's not like people are not doing anything. Now, I got some correspondence from a very prominent Caymanian who had a conviction that didn't even go to jail. So the person, very fine, intelligent Caymanian, and applied for the conviction to be expunged to get back home with his life because, he has a lot to contribute to this country. And the board has turned him down. That was not the intent. We are defeating the purpose of having that law. That law is to look at the person who 3 years ago, 5 years ago, was convicted of something. And
has stayed clean.
Stayed clean.
Yeah,
see if the person has learned the lessons from the error of his ways, the youthful exuberance and those type of things. We have all fallen foul of the law. It's just that we didn't get catch because of youthful exuberance. Some of us wind up before the justice system, but then we realize, you know, that didn't do me any good. I need to correct my ways. And that was the intent of that law, so that we are losing enough as it is. Life is about second chances. Now, after second chance, you haven't corrected your ways and you continue down the wrong path, then that's what the justice system is for, to try and use different methods to rehabilitate you, you know? And I know Caymanians who are 20 years out. Elvis just said it. 30 years, they get a little conviction. And they're still restricted, yet they are good family men or women, but they are still constrained to people looking at them with a jaundiced view, you know?
And it's almost a double-edged sword, because they've served their time, they've paid for the crime, but then they continue to be subjected to the police record. So, yeah, I advocate for that. Once you serve your time and you show that you have been reformed, rehabilitated, then shorten the amount of time that stays on your record, because that then creates additional issues with getting employment, getting a visa, all sorts of things, providing for your family, which may lead you to go back into crime. You know?
All right, well, gents, let's pause and take another short break. When we come back, let's continue. Stay tuned for the record.
Come on, get ready for this year's 2019 Fidelity Fun Run Series. Join us opposite John Gray High School for the first 3 Saturdays in September at 7:30 a.m. for an exciting 2-mile run. Whether you're a serious competitor looking for a fun family activity or you want to take an early stroll, the Fidelity Fun Run Series is the event for you. Strollers and pets are welcome, and we've got trophies up for grabs as well. Register today for the races on September 7th, 14th, and 21st. And get your Fun Run t-shirt. To register, visit CaymanActive.com for more information.
Have you seen the latest? Cayman has been ranked the most expensive place to live. It's time to buy smart. It's time to buy Ropers. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices at Ropers. Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511. Email janitorial@ropers.ky. Clean up your spending with Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511. Ropers Janitorial also offers complete janitorial service for commercial, industrial, and residential. They get the job done right every time. Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
I have various items coming from different suppliers that I need to ship to Cayman. Do you offer consolidation?
Yes. Seaboard Marine offers consolidation for full and less than container loads. We can hold your packages at our Miami warehouse until everything arrives and ship it all in one go. And we have the best rates to Grand Cayman. Visit seaboardmarine.com for more information.
Shipping shore to shore, Seaboard.
Work will soon launch Jobs Cayman, an online system that allows registered users to access job postings created by registered employers. This system offers a better approach to facilitate Caymanians in finding employment and allows employers to search for qualified and skilled Caymanians who are seeking employment. For more information on the registration process and what you need to register, visit www.worc.ky. Work, leading the pursuit of full Caymanian employment and economic prosperity for all through service excellence.
The Breeze Fusion is back Saturday, November 2nd.
Bigger and better.
Matter. Now featuring a 5K walk run and a 10K run for half marathon trainers. Join the fun and help raise funds for the Central Scranton Park and the NCVO. Save the date or register now at CaymanActive.com or at Radio Cayman Studios. Registration is only $15 if registered by September 30th, and all early registrants enter to win a Cayman Airways voucher. The Breeze Fusion 5K 10K walk run, Saturday, November 2nd.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Hey, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us. Honored to sit in for Mr. Art in the studio. Even more grateful to have the excellent company of the Honorable Opposition Leader, Mr. Art McLean, together with Deputy Alva Suku. Gents, there are a couple of callers online and some other WhatsApps to get to, but let's go to our phones. Good morning, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hello.
Hi, morning, sir.
Good morning, Rambo. Rambo speaking.
Rambo, how are you, man?
Morning.
Morning, man. Very thank you, man. Good. Can't complain. I heard Uncle Evans calling a while ago, right? In the opposition, I also assisted him with it. It accumulating solar, right? And I talk in my time in life, right? I'll be trying to find next month, that's my life, right? In 2007, 3 years of court, got draw, right? I spent most of it. To my brethren, they refused the urine. They started $400 for that, right? I spent around $50, $150. $500 for the draw, $500 for the blueberry rizzler, and $50 residue that it does, right? When I went to court now, Rams it on there. If I'm a dealer, I say, go. I have gallstones and pancreas erupted, so that I give the pain. She will give me a blood, right? But she said she will look into it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But, hello. Caymanians, right? We all get penalized. Zero tolerance towards that, right? And they get installing.
Yeah.
2.5 years ago, a gated community, right? With some private students, high school students, graduation. They found heroin, right? Hard drugs. You're not talking about that. You hear about that, no? Right? Not under the limelight, no? Off the radar. You know what I'm saying? And so give me 1 minute now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they will call you, right? I'll tell you, I change your names, right? For instance, now Boris Johnson, like I say again, he's proposing a bridge now. His mandate now. Yes, not the lose or the in now. A bridge from Scotland to Northern Ireland, £15 billion now. Right? But it came on now, we come in like, we ain't me a police for a draw. Look at that caribou thing, right? One artist was going for a draw. 95% of artists, especially the genre music, they smoke herbs, not nothing. But came on now, we come like a police state. We come like Cuba or China. But they strip the herbs one. It's too left.
Yeah,
I hope give me a chance. I hope 2021. I hope when I open my eyes, it's going to cause a brain, right? Last in the UK now, with the dilemma. It came on now, we can be a police state for the draw. The herbs one. It's too left. Have a good day.
All right. Thanks very much. So the notion of Mr. McLean legalizing it?
I don't want to condone illegal activity. I can't see myself at this stage with the information I have available to me promoting the legalization of drug use. I can't. Decriminalization, let's talk. Okay? Because there's a fundamental difference. If someone is caught with a little thing for use or something, then, and we did that the other day with the caution law, that it's possible to do that. I hear the frustration in Cayman's voice. The two of those callers, that one and the one Brooks said that called in earlier. The fact is that Caymanians feel like they are being penalized more than anyone else. That may come for different reasons that we feel that way. But certainly, one of the things Brooks were talking about is people coming here and living in substandard housing. And I thought, so true. No one does anything about that. But when Sterling won't build on one room, because his boy and his son, his daughter can't live in the same room anymore. They get into that age, 8, 9 stuff, and he went a 2-bedroom place. It's time now to separate them. Then Sterling gets the hardest time in the world to put that little thing on. Yet we in response to the DART Corporation over that road West Bay, we did their air parcels,
volumetric
air parcels, and we're not extending it out to other people in the residential areas. Can you imagine a 4 or 5 kids coming back from school? They get their first job. They can't afford a house $700,000-800,000. They can't afford to buy one of those apartments $600,000-700,000. But they probably qualify after the first year for $200,000-300,000 from the bank. They're in their 20s. If we would allow them, what we should be looking for is to make them utilize the same, buy a little piece of land, low density residential, and build 5 apartments on it, but they use the volumetric stuff. We are not thinking of that. What we want to do is everybody else get it and leave these kids that just come out of a college that can only afford $200,000-300,000. That's what it's about. You get 5 kids that has $250,000 they qualify for, or $300,000. That's $1.5 million. Okay. Do you realize what they can do with that? They can build 5 apartments, but they can use the volumetric. But that's only for other people.
No. And when you
that's not for them.
And think about what that does, because each air parcel is a separate ownership, like a separate piece of land, but it exists on
But the
paper,
law
right?
says you can only build a single family house on low density, or maybe a duplex or something like that, and you got to get some. But the air is owned by them too,
Yeah, natural. And think about the efficiencies in the construction then, because you're not building 5 separate apartments scattered. You're building going up.
A smaller footprint.
It's going to be a smaller footprint, but it's going to be, you got savings. Yeah. So we should give that savings to our
If it's good for one, good for the other. Right?
Yeah.
All right, gents, that is interesting. I wouldn't mind you talking more if you wish, but we have to pause again. Stay tuned. Be back.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's newsroom. These are the biggest stories right now.
The Michael Moore's Trust Advisory Group is returning to Grand Cayman for a second year to host a seminar for the Cayman Islands private wealth professionals that will look at issues that are likely to be a concern for trustees in the future. The conference is taking place at the Kimpton on September 24th and is free. 3 frontrunners in the race to become Democratic Party candidate for U.S. presidential campaign have clashed over health care at the party's 3rd debate. The debate in Houston, Texas, was the first time Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, and Bernie Sanders faced off on stage. Former Texas lawmaker Beto O'Rourke drew some of the biggest applause in an impassioned plea for gun control. The winner is likely to face President Donald Trump, the Republican Party favorite in November 2020 polls. John Bercow has vowed, quote, creativity in Parliament if Boris Johnson ignores a law designed to stop a no-deal Brexit. The Commons Speaker also said in a speech that the only possible Brexit was one backed by MPs. A new law passed before the suspension of Parliament forces the PM to seek a delay until January 31st, 2020, unless a deal or no-deal exit is approved by MPs by October 29th. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Hey, good morning and welcome back. Thank you so much, man. I always enjoy listening and learning, especially to those not only who are much more senior and experienced, but if they're representatives in their legislative assembly, hey, I get the benefit. So hopefully, Honorable Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Art McLean, and Deputy Leader, Mr. Albert School, gents, number of callers who are so not only committed but patient. Let's join them. Good morning, welcome. Thank you for calling.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you again for your patience for calling us.
Patient. Joe wasn't from East End, my friend.
He wasn't.
No.
All right.
And good morning to the leader and his deputy, and the leader should have been a long distance runner.
Good morning.
Are you a bodybuilder like you?
If you think I can run and walk on the median and the highways in this country as much as you do.
In the Hulk Hogan shirt that I see him wearing to the gym.
Yeah. That muscles that got out poking out like that. Leader, I got a call this morning from one of your dedicated constituent, diehard.
Yes, sir.
She was stuck in the traffic this morning 5 minutes after 6 at Peace Bay, Moon Bay, right outside of Moon Bay.
Mm-hmm.
She was in traffic 6:05 this morning, cursing and carrying on. And you all got, I hear a lot of sound bites on the call-in shows and stuff like that. But is it going to take somebody like you to make the move? And I don't want you to come back building no roads, because roads can't build us out of this traffic, sir. I'm telling you.
You're right.
I don't know if you remember that when we used to get our little summer jobs with public work had designated a vehicle, and somebody that live in East End would drive that vehicle, and somebody had one in Bordentown would bring all the workers to work. I'm not saying that each company should designate a bus to bring the workers, which would be good. But what I think should happen is that we should look seriously into some serious ground transportation. I'm talking about the buses like what Webster got for the Eastern District, and all those smaller ones right now do the whole entire Georgetown and West Bay Road, right? And a lot of the people that jump off the plane that have a driver's license, that never driven a car in their life, that don't know the system, everyone last Caymanian grew up knowing the system because we were driving at the time we were 17, every one of us. Mm-hmm. People are coming here 35, 40, don't know the system and getting a driver's license. Mm-hmm. Coming with license where they never driven before, but they have a license. Like one of the inspector told me the lady didn't know how to start the car, but yet she had a license. Okay? Mm-hmm. So now that they do have license, work permit holders, when they come to renew it, then we don't renew it without they bring a letter from the employer, and they have to specify why they should have a driver's license for that job. And we can't have a nanny coming and say, yes, she need a driver's license because she got to pick up a child. I mean, her work permit going to have to go up because she's doing two jobs. She's a chauffeur now and a nanny too. So that got to go up. That work permit got to go up. You see? So now that they all do have driver's license, we need to not renew it when they come to renew their license, and don't issue no more without the job specify that they have to have a driver's license. But that have to be done when they submit the work permit. You can't come here without a license and then get a license for that particular job. You see? Mm-hmm. So that is what we got. And we got to make that call, bro. Chief Justice Summerfield told me, not just me, but a group of us, that Cayman was good to him. I thought it was the big pay and the sunshine and the beaches. He said, no, I get to drive a car. Mm-hmm. I said, well, sir, didn't you have a car when you was in England? Oh, yeah, I got a Jaguar. But I never come here from there. I came here from Bermuda. I had to ride a moped. Mm-hmm. He rode the Chief Justice, Some of you rode a moped to school. Your cousin Steve McLaughlin was an engineer at a hospital in Bermuda. He rode a moped.
Princess Royal, yeah.
Come on. And this is the way we do it in Cayman. If you want to come, you come. You don't want to come, you don't come. But you go ride a moped, a bicycle, or you catch the bus.
Well, Graham, remember when I was there, and I keep going back to that, but be that as it may, I can only talk of my own experiences. I met with every importer in this country about the types of importation we were doing. And they hammered me. The country hammered me because I was trying to control it then. I am still of the same view that we need to control it. We see all these cars parked along the road for sale. It's people on work permit who are bringing in these cars. We need to restrict it. We need to restrict it, and we need to restrict it fast. I'm not afraid to publicly say that our public transport system is not as reliable as I would like it to be, but government needs to invest in it in some way, whether it's time, efforts, monies, and make sure it's a reliable, robust public system, and then we stop cars from coming into this country and we restrict them.
Mm-hmm. Now you recall, remember, I brought a private member's motion asking government to extend bus service into Newlands. Mm-hmm. Now, when the minister got up to respond, he said he was going to do better than that. He was going to review the entire system and make improvements to have a proper public transportation system. Now, I sent in a follow-up parliamentary question on that, and he didn't answer it when we were in the House, but I got that answer back in writing this week. And the short answer is that now they've hired consultants to look at it. But it gets back to what Mr. McLean said earlier, just do it. It needs to be done. There's no question. It has to be done, so let's just get it done.
All right, let's go to the phones and get it done. Good morning. Thank you for calling.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, my friend. How are you today?
Morning.
Okay. Well, the problem with
we're having some challenges hearing you, sir. Is it perhaps the connection, the phone? And as we try to adjust that, maybe we can see. Ms. Susan serves, many roles. She serves as not just, taking the control of the board, but now she's going to work her magic on the phone. While she does that, can I maybe read a quick couple of WhatsApps as we're speaking to the Honourable Opposition Leader as well as his deputy. Gents, earlier we were talking about the traffic rules as we continue with some messages on the WhatsApp coming through. And a couple of WhatsApps, if I may just share the same sentiments expressed by our callers as well as those who are sending their thoughts through typing the text and sending it across. It says, I hear you all referring to the traffic problems. The problem is too many people. Just why can't you all face and put immigration back in full force? Traffic is just one of our problems. We have many serious problems, and us Caymanians are feeling it hard. So we have to stop talking and take action. Another one says, I live in the middle of Savannah, and thanks to bad thinking / planning, we now live on a dangerous racetrack every day. One who goes on and says, I'm just wondering whose bright idea was it to install those dangerous roundabouts? They are just not working. Stoplights would have served us better. So the government needs to listen to Caymanians and stop being brainwashed. Now, a couple other WhatsApps, but if you wish to...
Just let me respond to the roundabout. I didn't start them in Cayman, but I subscribe to them. Mm-hmm. For those of us who ever go anywhere else in the world, especially England, roundabouts work. You know why they work? Because the English people indicate which lane they're going to take.
So you know how to use them properly.
If you know how to use roundabout, that person, and I hope they're listening, there's a fundamental difference between a roundabout and a traffic light. Roundabouts, the traffic flows. Traffic lights, the traffic is controlled by stopping it. That's where you get your back up. Okay? So if the roundabouts are operated properly, what a traffic light is a mechanical means of controlling traffic. A roundabout is a human means of controlling traffic. But you need, in the sense of the traffic light, it is electronical control, and it controls your behavior. But if you can operate a roundabout properly, your journey will be that much shorter. Mm-hmm. You go England, and I mean, if they're 3-4 stack up on that roundabout, that's plenty. Yeah. But we also have another problem that makes them ineffective. Where is the traffic going? It got in Georgetown, and it backs right up. It's filled up in Georgetown.
No place to filter there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jess, we're able to reconnect with the caller. welcome back, sir. Hopefully we get to hear you better.
Yes, good morning again, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. It's better,
Yes, we need to take the importation of cars seriously in finding a solution. Not just because of the traffic problems, but after these cars become unrepairable, we're going to find ourselves with the same problem we're having right now with the garbage dump. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
All right. Thanks very much indeed. And if you wish to respond, what
It's great. You got to go someplace. It don't just disappear,
This one was referencing, as we do WhatsApp, if it's possible to give free bus passes to children, not just school children, but to children as well. Another message suggests that despite the changes this one experiencing, that the children are still arriving late to school, indicates that the child is being picked up at 6:30 in the morning and don't arrive until after 8:30. So there's a lot of difficulties people are saying.
Yeah, it's creating some difficulties.
It's really creating an issue.
And it takes a while for change to find its own level,
Right.
It really does.
I had a lady that lives in Beach Bay. She left home at 6:52, and she still reached to work late and getting her child to school late. It really
is having a domino effect.
Yeah.
Whatever whichever way that time went, it's having a domino effect.
Right.
But go ahead.
Yeah. One reads, says the reality of a traffic problem solving will ultimately lie in one of the politicians in the near future having to make the decision to limit or to place a limit on car importations, or how many cars a family should legally own, not on an endless road building, or staggering workplace schedules and school start times. Bermuda did place that car limit, whilst foreigners that move there don't like scooters. The locals rarely have this conversation about traffic. I know because as I came in, I lived and worked there. It all comes down to that unpopular decision. Like it or not, thanks and have it a nice day. So there are some, as you said, difficult decisions as our callers are recognizing. Now, if I'm, being told, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, how will we respond?
Well, one of the things about a human being is you get adverse response from human beings when you take away something from them.
Resistance to change.
And if you're not a willing ally of change, then you're not going to succeed really.
Right.
But once somebody has certain privileges and you go try to take it from them, they kick back. It's a kickback. It's natural. But something needs to be done.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I believe that it's a combination of things that needs to be done. And one said too many people, and yet there are people in this country advocating for 100,000 people. With more population, just like that one was saying, the increase in population, that's precisely it. More people, you got more problems.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to 100,000, you got triple the problem.
Right.
You got the problems quadruple. So then you have to address those. Now, how do we address those?
Mm-hmm.
Here's what we have been doing: giving everybody concessions, not make no money, to be able to address the infrastructure needs that we're going through right now. Mm-hmm. The infrastructure needs for to accommodate it. Every development in this country creates an infrastructure consequence.
Yeah,
that's what happens. Likewise, I have been proposing, when someone is developing something, like let's look at Linford Pearson Highway. We're seeing whole heap of apartments go there now. Yet planning would not, or I don't know if they have, but planning does not require a layway. Here's what can happen there. Those buses are going to be coming there on the highway. People are going to be visiting people. They are working in those apartments. Yet we don't have a layway so that public bus can pull off the road and don't hold up the traffic. That's the kind of stuff that we have not thought about. Time caught up on us, or the world caught up on us and left us behind, or went ahead of us and left us behind. And we're not thinking at the same speed that we're moving. That's the problem. We're thinking back there, and we're not doing it. And yes, I agree with that person. Something needs to be done, and decisions have to be made. And it is short-term hurt for long-term gain.
Right.
And that's what is going to happen.
Yeah. And I liken that to the development plan that we're supposed to have updated and following. Because when you're following that plan, then you'll know what infrastructure needs will be. You'll be able to better predict what they will be in the future. But the way we're operating now is just random and haphazard, and we're not really planning for the future. So that's why we're running into problems. We're running into some serious problems now.
National vision.
Lack of planning.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, gents, one quick break to take. When we come back, I wanted to continue the discussion. Please stay tuned.
I'm going to Vant Motors to test drive the new 7-seater Rush.
They have some really sweet deals going on now, not true?
Yep, on SUVs. And they sweeten the deal by giving you a warm oven-baked cookie with each test drive.
Better test drive more than one, just to be sure.
Take a test drive for a sweet surprise this month at Vant Motors. Test drive any SUV and receive a freshly baked cookie. It's our way of saying thanks for dropping by to check out our huge sale on every SUV in stock. Save up to $4,400 during Vant's summer SUV sale. That's every SUV in stock on sale for thousands off or cash back. Sweeten the deal only at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
It was a day that changed my life. No words can describe the feelings of seeing my baby boy sick for the first time. The overwhelming feeling of fear to be responsible for his health and happiness became my priority. So I did what any nurturing mother would do when their baby is sick. I took him to get some of the best medicine possible.
CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy understands the importance of careful decisions you make every day for your family. Our staff work towards healthcare excellence and providing the most current and up-to-date training with pharmaceutical care, so you can feel confident in knowing that your family is safe with the right medication. At CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, we take care of your health.
At Logic, we make things better for our customers. It's why we're offering free Boost Wi-Fi. With Boost, you get improved Wi-Fi connectivity everywhere in your home, so there's no more dead zones. The only people we're not making this better for is parents. Because now with seamless Wi-Fi in every room in your home, go to your room isn't really the punishment it used to be. Sorry about that. Sign up now for any Logic Bundle package and get free Boost Wi-Fi for a limited time. Visit logic.ky for details.
Hey sis, you ready for the new year of high school?
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of nervous. Like, what if I don't fit in? What if I get bullied? What if I don't make any friends or lose the friends I thought were my friends?
Calm down. You're gonna be just fine. Join a club.
I've been thinking about that Youth to Youth one.
Girl, let me fill you in. Y2Y is a teen-led club. We organize our own events, have deep discussions on everyday topics. We volunteer in the community and positively impact our peers. And let me not forget, it's a no judgment zone. I have met so many people there.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Can I bring Carson too?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, awesome. I'll be there. For more information on Youth to Youth, visit ndc.ky or call 949-9000.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome. No, it's still good morning. That one was a Freudian slip. In the studio, the Honorable Arden, can I say V. Arden McLean?
Yeah, you can say V, but don't say Vincent.
Don't say Vincent?
I don't like Vincent.
You don't like that?
No.
Victorious Arden?
My father might as well have named me Sue. I don't like Vincent.
No?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? V for victory. For the people. The Honorable Opposition Leader together with his Deputy, Mr. Alva Suku. Jens, thanks very much for sharing. And hopefully, as we share the information and laugh, people see this still very seriously. I want to get into it, but could be respectful to go to our phones and join a couple of callers. Hey, good morning. Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. How are you today?
Good morning.
Morning.
Starting then, didn't know I was on. Good morning to the Honorable
Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Clean, and good morning to the Deputy, Honorable Mr. Suku. It's wonderful to hear you two on the air. And the difficult job being opposition. You all know that a seasoned man like Mr. Suku. And yes, when you said victory there a while ago, be for victory, Mr. Sterling Dwayne.
Yes, sir.
Mr. reminds me of what I was going to say. We need the courage of Mr. Churchill, because when that very first, I don't know how many people know about that meeting they had, which decided more or less everything. 1940 March with Clement Attlee and Lord Halifax and Lord Chamberlain there, and cemented Mr. Churchill, the great man he would be. And his first great speech, probably greatest of the many greats, was when he said, victory at all costs. At all costs. He told the people, I promise you, blood, sweat, and tears, fighting, and victory at all costs. There must be no appeasement, no anything of the sort, but it must be victory. Courage. We know we hear the problem there, too many cars, much too many. It's a very, very serious problem. We saw it coming a long time ago. Bermuda took care of it, as the other people have said. There no need to waste time on that. And people will have to obey the law that they will make, and they'll have to live by rules. You see it every day driving on the road. We don't like to obey rules. It's a Caribbean thing. It has now come to Cayman. We've always been a sort of unique Caribbean people because our life was based on the sea. That has changed. That has changed drastically. The great change I saw, and I said it then, was 1983 when we signed on to the CITES Convention and we broke down the Turtle Farm, a wonderful Caymanian business. Anyway, we're glad it's still operating as a sure thing, and that's great. Kudos to Mr. Timmy and all the staff. I don't agree with turning loose turtles. I never have, never will. So I won't even bother to waste time on that. We have changed, and we have to realize that our system has changed. The old people, I heard my friend Mr. Ackerman there, and he's right. Too many cars. We have to stop it. We can stop it. Our elected representatives. A lot of people say, well, they only meet, so they're only doing 50 hours work a year or whatever it is, or 150. But that's not true. We know that they're tirelessly working all the while, late into the nights with things and putting forward papers and countless reams of papers for one bill to be presented and so forth, give long hours of debate. The people should listen, as you rightly said, Mr. McLean. Listen and remember what was said. Try and pick it up on Radio Cayman. I try and never miss that. The rebroadcast. You learn a lot to see the difficulties that they face as being a crown colony operating within parameters that they didn't realize they'd operate.
I like to tell people, we're not running a fish shop, you know. This is a country, and you can, and it's a very difficult country to run. You know, and I'm not, God forbid that I would defend Alden. We're political opposites. You know, I told the guys in the opposition the other day, let's understand who we are, what we are. We are 19 legislators and 60,000 people's lives depend on every action, every word we utter. That's what it is. 19 out of 60,000 controlling the livelihood, the lives, the way of life for 60,000 people. You think that's not a lot of responsibility? But more importantly, there are hundreds and hundreds of millions of people who depend on what goes on down there in that legislative assembly. And you may want to say why. We provide one of the most robust financial services in the world. And when a company who employs 300,000-400,000 people in the United States or in England or in Europe creates a company in this country, it is the laws that they're going by, that we had to put in place. Hundreds of millions of people's lives depends on what the 19 people in this country that was elected do. We're not running a fish shop. And this is difficult, and we have to work. And if you don't work, you're going to soon find yourself with your heart full and your hands empty.
And Sterling, to put it in perspective, not to cut the caller off, but when we're having a meeting, when we have to attend a meeting of the LA, and the government is bringing 20 bills, and 3/4 of them are financial services bills, we could take two approaches. We could either sit down, not read the bills, listen to the debate, listen to the presentation, and say, okay, that sounds good. Or you spend the hours, the countless hours, scrutinizing that bill, because you recognize that as an opposition member, your job is to scrutinize the government, to make sure that what they're doing is right for this country. So we have, you might say that the opposition members don't have the power, and we don't, because we don't have the numbers, but we have a heavy responsibility to check what the government is doing and point it out if they might be going wrong. And it's happened many times that, and not in a negative way, but during a debate, we will point out issues with a particular bill, and the government will go away and come back and say, yeah, you're right, yeah, we changed it, we're going to change that. That is part of the role. And when you think about how far-reaching the consequences of getting that wrong can be, it is no wonder politicians get grey early, because that weighs on you. When you really think about what it is your task, the responsibility you're tasked with, it really takes a toll on you, physically and emotionally and mentally. But we do it because we love this country, and we want to make the country better, and we want to make the lives of our people better.
All right. So you're still there?
That's why I say, yes,
sir.
I just want to say something. That's the reason why I say it's important for our people to understand and realize we have elected 19 people to do to be our voice, to represent us. And it's very, very important that we realize that's a very onerous task placed on them, but they put themselves up for it, thinking that they can best do it, and it's been done very well so far in our history. At one time, we were self-ruled and self-governed for 67 years, almost totally self-ruled and self-governed. 1831, after the first elections, to 1898, when I sent down the British Commissioner, Sheldon Sanguinetti. But we, therefore, should have the confidence in our elected representatives too, since it is designed and made by our representatives, the administrative agreement that we call a constitution with the United Kingdom, Her Majesty's government in the United Kingdom, Her Majesty's government in Cayman, our representatives here made that agreement. England agreed to it. I think our elected representatives should keep moving forward and keep amending it. I do not see why you have to bring it to the people in a referendum, except it's a very, very major issue or change to the Constitution. I see nothing being done that requires to be brought. It would be chaotic, and it would diminish or demean the powers of our legislative assembly members if they can't make decisions right there in the House to amend the Constitution. I don't think it needs to be brought to referendum. I do not think so. I will never think so. Only a very serious issue. A people-initiated referendum is a very serious thing. Sadly, a lot of people are taking this one about the port as a frivolous kind of political entertainment. I see it that way. And it very saddens me to realize that it is such a serious and divisive thing. We should not take it lightly. We should be very concerned in the future with what we decide is of national importance that would require a referendum. I don't think we need to take amendments, even very, very things that will have far-reaching effect on our people. But we should have them do it. That's what they were elected to do. Give them the authority to do that. And I think that's how we should go on. Limit the cars immediately. Tell people the limits are just like Bermuda did. But you have to, as you said, Mr. McLean, you have to provide a proper bus service which Bermuda has. Gentlemen, thank you for giving me the time to ramble on. Have a wonderful day. I listen on.
And to you, sir.
Take care. And I totally agree with him. If people initiated it's all well and good when a government wants to test the waters and see what the people feel about a particular initiative. That's a government that don't know what their response from the public is going to be, or want support to do a particular thing, and the government do that. Sometimes it backfires, like it backfired on Cameron. Cameron figured he was going to win that Brexit thing, But a people-initiated referendum is a very, 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 very powerful tool for the people, especially in the absence of recall of your provisions of your legislators. And when you see people come out and let their voices be heard through the pen, and they exercise their right to sign a petition to say, I want to vote on this. I want to be able to express my views to the government on this particular subject. That is serious. That's a serious matter, because that's the democracy that we are building. That's the essence of democracy. Mm-hmm. And we all recognize that. And I'll just read you one paragraph from Alden's congratulatory letter to me in May when I became leader of the opposition, talking about other things. And he said, just as significant as working together, where we have a shared interest in the responsibility you have in our system of government to provide healthy challenge and rigorous scrutiny in order to hold myself and my government to account on behalf of the people. I have no doubt that you will bring your customary robustness and attention to detail to this vitally important part of your new role. That's what it's about. I have a responsibility to hold him to account, and the people have a responsibility to hold all of us to account. And when you see people come out and want a people-initiated referendum, they want to tell you something, and you must respect that. When I was going to build that road through the forest, and I keep referring to this, they came out on the lawn there by the glass house, in protest against me, So when I saw it, I called a meeting at the Vassal Johnson Hall. And I saw how people were outraged. People don't have to have the facts, It is built, a lot of it, on emotions. And they're saying, we don't want you to go through there. We don't want our forests destroyed. We don't want our ghosts. Probably some of them had never even been in there. So at the end of the day, that night, I sat there and Kurt touched me and he said, I know you got to deal with this. I said, you watch me. And I got up. And I said, obviously, you all are very emotional about this thing. And I'm not the one to destroy your love affair with anything. As of right now, I'm pulling it off the table. That's it. What my my warning to you is that 10 years from now, when I'm sitting in traffic, you're going to be sitting in traffic too. So said, so done. But that's besides the point. That's what they wanted. Mm-hmm. They didn't want a road through that forest. Now, there are times, and I believe that this government feels like they can convince the people that this is of national importance. I saw the papers this morning that the government has now decided it is of national importance. They wouldn't admit that all this time. And I always wondered why they were spending the people money to defend it and ensure they educate the people that it's a good thing, and it could not be called national importance. I always wondered that. But everything is of national importance. If we are using that phrase and define it narrowly, then we may have a problem. But everything is of national importance when you look at it from a country perspective. Depends on how many people takes it from an emotional perspective to demand that something else be done, an alternative be done. That's all it is. This is politics. This is life. This is running the country. And you know what my father told me when I was young? He said to me, Arden, he and I were always in argument. You can imagine, right? That it was argumentative like I am. And those who are listening to the radio know that. And know my father knows that. And one day I didn't want to change the tires on the truck the way he wanted. He said, your problem is you'll never get in charge. You will never be in charge. I'm in charge. And as long as you live, understand someone is going to be in charge. And today I am going to change the tire. And stop your crying. Two things never kill people: crying and hard work. Both of them are rewarded in some way. Go ahead and do the tire now.
All right. With that, let's pause, take our break. When we come back, more For the Record.
In 1996, Rotary Club Central led the way, initiating a disaster fund to prepare and assist our community toward recovery. The Rotary Clubs of the Cayman Islands then expanded this valuable instrument, the Rotary Cayman Disaster Fund. Thereafter, Rotary District 7020, a group of 86 clubs over 10 countries in 16 islands across the Northwest Caribbean, grew this idea, the Rotary District 7020 Disaster Fund. Today, this Rotary Central idea has worked relief and recovery, assisting communities throughout this region. Rotary, with you before, during, and after. Rotary, connecting the world.
Cayman, get ready for this year's 2019 Fidelity Fun Run Series. Join us opposite John Gray High School for the first 3 Saturdays in September at 7:30 a.m. for an exciting 2-mile run. Whether you're a serious competitor looking for a fun family activity or you want to take an early stroll, the Fidelity Fun Run Series is the event for you. Strollers and pets are welcome, and we've got trophies up for grabs as well. Register today for the races on September 7th, 14th, and 21st. And get your Fun Run t-shirt. To register, visit CaymanActive.com for more information.
Remember to discard all fresh fruits and vegetables, meats, all foods in canisters, dented, leaking or rusting cans after they have come in contact with flood water. Also discard foods that are stored in cardboard boxes, paper foil, cellophane, and cloth, as well as those in open containers and packages. For more post-hurricane food safety tips, visit DEH website at deh.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman 3 to 6 mix on the weekdays. Brought to you by
Cayman Insurance Center, serving the community for 45 years. Don't take chances with your family's future. Call Denise Brown at 814-7229 or Michael Webster at 925-5433. Fitness Plus and Train with Dre. Getting in shape has never been easier with the mobile fitness app by Train with Dre and the new Eco Power Sport Art equipment.
Every day. Every day. All the time. All the time.
Visit fitnessplus.com for more information.
Also brought to you
It's time to feel the rhythm. Time to feel the vibes. It's time for Moringa Town.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Hey, good morning and welcome. Thanks for joining us. It is For the Record, and I invite you to join me again later on after the midday news for Talk Today. Now, in the studio, the Honourable Arden McLean and Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Alvis Koo, are our guests. Gents, a few callers online. Hey, good morning. Thank you for calling. Good morning. Thanks for calling.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, my friend. How are you?
Morning, Mr. McLean and Mr. Oliver.
Morning.
I was just listening briefly, and I only want to make one short point, and I think it's critical because I'm long tired of hearing the scenario that we elect 19 people or whatever it was prior to the 19 to decide our fate. Listen, not everybody hired for the job can always do the job the way they're supposed to do it. That's number one. And for anybody who is under the impression that we should sit back for 4 years and allow them to destroy this country because they were elected, I take a different position. And I think that when people take the time, that's why registering to be an elector is a process, right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's a given right to you that you have to initiate because it's not that when you get of age that you automatically register to vote. It's a process that you as an individual, as an adult, as a responsible person have to go out and take that initiative to register yourself to vote, to be a part of a process that dictates the consequences from those who we elect that we live in, right or wrong.
Yeah. You make that choice. It's a personal decision. Yeah.
All right. So, and under the Constitution, that decision, not only making that decision, it also puts me in the same arena as those who are elected because we play the most important part of that arena because we do the electing.
Mm-hmm.
And for anybody to suggest or to continue to suggest to the Caymanian younger public, and this is who I'm speaking to because I think those of us who are old enough to understand politics and who've been around it long enough, and in Cayman it's almost by compulsory because everything we do and everything we touch have some political intervention into it. But here's the reality, and I'm just tired of hearing people call the radio station suggesting that the people need to be quiet for 4 years after we elect people. Listen, this people initiated referendum, regardless of what anybody want to feel or think about it, is a constitutional right that was put into the Constitution in 2009. And now, and if anybody understand what the definition of referendum is, the definition of referendum, it's so that its people can be more involved in the political process. The reality is that, and like you said before, Mr. McLean, it's unfortunate that the government has taken an after-effect position to decide that this is a matter of national importance, because what it allowed people to do during the process of them not admitting that that's what it was is to criticize the process of people who were concerned enough to go out to participate in a petition in order for us to have an opportunity to make a decision on the single largest project in the Cayman Islands. The problem with that is that it's unfortunate that we do have elected members of our government who have taken the position to let the people argue among themselves, knowing very well what the real truth and position was from a constitutional standpoint. I'm not here to sell a petition or sell an idea or create anything. The reality is, these are the realities. And when people say, oh, you can't govern a country on referendum, well, I wonder what an election is every 4 years. It's a consensus of the people. Every 4 years, we express the consensus of the people. We go out and we elect people. In between that 4 years, something may go awry that we don't like, and then we go out and we express ourselves the consensus again, which is exactly what took place in this process. Now, if we have to sit back and allow the rhetoric from people and assume that we can't be a part of a process that is given to us in the Constitution, then what's the reason of having that in the Constitution if, one, we can't express it, and if, two, it's not going to even have any impact on those who are the decision makers in our country? Listen, it's very simple. It's very simple. From this day forward, any government in the future decides that they're going to do something that may not be in the best interest of the people of the Cayman Islands, this precedent will set the bar for future thinking politicians, and they'll have a clear understanding that when we get to the table to have a discussion about moving any capital works projects that's going to affect the Cayman Islands and its people, we have to bear in mind that we have this element of society that may beg to differ. So my only suggestion moving forward, so we can have a more...
But the problem we have is when you see, as far as I'm concerned, that people-initiated referendum should never be utilized, should never reach this point. When you see so many people making in opposition to something, why test it? Go and test it yourself. Why wait till they box you up and all over the place? Go and do it yourself and say, listen, here we are, here's a referendum. Go ahead and vote for it. If you want to vote against it.
And I've always questioned that.
The people-initiated referendum should never be triggered.
I'm a politician. I would never have taken the course that I see the government has taken, because what I've seen so far has indicated to me that a lot of people don't want this. So why are you swimming against the current? Why are you trying to bend people and change their will when it's those people you're going to have an answer to in 2 years? It makes no sense.
I would have fixed Mario because he would run behind all it. Him and that young lady, Katrina, and them other young ladies.
Michelle.
I would have fixed them. I would have used a referendum on them from the beginning. Tell the people, now listen, Mario, see here's a referendum. You tell me what you want. People-initiated referendum should never be triggered because you're going against your people.
Mm-hmm. You still there, sir?
I'm still there. I just want to finish my chain of thought. The reality is that we need to have a more cohesive involvement with all our people when it comes to decision making. I'm not saying that the people need to be involved when you're getting ready to build infrastructure in terms of roads and different facilities. What I'm saying is that I remember very clearly in 2008, 2009, Mr. McLean, you were part of that government at the time, so you would remember this just as well.
Mm-hmm.
When that government was forewarned about the economic downturn that was on the horizon, Alden McLaughlin got up and said it would only be an act of God that could stop him from doing what he was getting ready to do. Now, I just want to remind him of this, is that you don't need God anymore. God didn't remind you. The people of this country showed you what the real mandate was and what the real people power is and what can be accomplished once a collective group of people put their minds to something that is the greater good of the Cayman Islands. I want to say this, and it's the last thing I'm going to say. This people-initiated referendum is the first piece of legislation that's going to go in place in the last 40 years that will reflect the true consensus of the people of the Cayman Islands. Because all of the legislation that we've passed in 40 years to make things easier for people to come to Cayman and have a life that they never would have had in life in their country. If you take a good look around Cayman and see who own all of the businesses in this island today and who are benefiting and living in all the lavish houses, it's not Caymanians. But this piece of legislation, this referendum law, will be because of the people of the Cayman Islands, for the people of the Cayman Islands, and we will exercise to use it whenever we feel it's necessary. I don't care what any cabinet member think or feel or what their emotions are on why or how or why are you doing this. If the people of this country feel that you're doing something that's not in the best interest, we will express ourselves through this referendum. So when they write this referendum bill, they make sure and get it right, because we're going to be watching that too. You guys have a good one.
All right. Thanks very much, man.
He said the best thing that happened to the country, I believe something like that. I know the worst thing that has ever happened to the government. This referendum.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you. You cannot allow the government to fight against its people.
Right.
And you see what the response was when they want to dismiss them? They came out in masses and signed a petition.
All right. Now, when we come back, maybe we can wrap it up with talking about that referendum and your input.
Because we wanted to get
yes.
into that a little earlier, but the
Stay
traffic
tuned.
took over.
Final break. When we come back, more For the Record.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
Hi, I'm thinking of buying a car from the States. Which port do you ship out of?
Hi, we ship out of Miami, Houston, and Brooklyn. Just let us know your port of choice and we can provide you with a quotation and answer any questions you may have on insuring and protecting your vehicle during its journey.
Shipping shore to shore, Seaboard.
In 1996, Rotary Club Central led the way initiating a disaster fund to prepare and assist our community toward recovery. The Rotary Clubs of the Cayman Islands then expanded this valuable instrument, the Rotary Cayman Disaster Fund. Thereafter, Rotary District 7020, a group of 86 clubs over 10 countries in 16 islands across the Northwest Caribbean, grew this idea, the Rotary District 7020 Disaster Fund. Today, this Rotary Central idea has worked relief and recovery, assisting communities throughout this region. Rotary, with you before, during, and after. Rotary, connecting the world.
Hey, are those new glasses on Will?
Yeah, we went to Optical Outlook. Wham, bam, easy exam. Finally, an exam he could pass. And we had the glasses the next day. Easiest part of our back-to-school shopping for sure.
Book your child's eye exam today at Optical Outlook. Call 746-2020. Get half off a complete pair of glasses with any student's eye exam, now extended to September 14th. Come see the difference with Optical Outlook, located in Caymanian Village.
Terms and conditions apply. Show your support for the scuba diving and water sports industry at the 2019 International Scuba Diving Hall of Fame Gala Induction Ceremony on Friday, October 4th at the Margaritaville Beach Resort. Tickets cost $75 pre-sold or $100 at the door, so get your tickets today. Tickets are available from the offices of the Department of Tourism and the Cayman Islands Tourism Association. The International Scuba Diving Hall of Fame Gala Ceremony, Friday, October 4th. Get your tickets now.
For the Record with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the Record with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for joining us. And only a few minutes left for the program, but time goes fast when you get a chance to chat with your representatives, but equally when you get a chance for the electors and the citizens of our country to share their thoughts. Gents, thanks very much for your service. It's not as easy as some people think. It's like hosting a talk show. Mr. McLean and Mr. Saku, thank you, sir.
Yep, I guess you want some closing comments from us now. But,
no, I want you to stay here all day because
we can stay
I'm at work.
For the next show.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, it was good being on. It's always a pleasure to be here. And unfortunately, we didn't get to spend more time talking about the referendum. But there will
come back at midday. No?
There will be lots of opportunities for that. So. We actually have to head off to a meeting now, but as Arden said, this is not something I would wish on any government because it sends a loud message, a very loud message. But I am also encouraged because I see democracy at work. Sometimes I get a little worried about our democracy and whether or not we got it right. But I think in this instance, this is proof in the parcel that we got it right.
Mr. McLean, if I may ask of you, sir, you shared earlier with respect to the Ironwood Forest and the proposal when you were minister responsible for roads that, you could see the vision, let's build the roads, but there was an outcry from the public. You say, you know what, let me pull this off the table as the responsible minister. With respect, as an elected member, as a former cabinet member, would you say to the government now, well, listen, the voters have come out en masse. Should the government continue to go to the polls looking for a referendum, or should they, back away and follow your example that you did back then? Because referendum is going to cost a bit of money.
I don't know, sir. You can put me on the spot like that.
My apologies.
I don't know why I'm saying you put me on the spot.
Yeah.
We have gone too far. We have gone too far. And if the government does not see it through, it sends some dangerous messages. Look at what happened in Hong Kong.
All right, okay.
It is similar to that. you see what happened after they withdraw it?
So why not then, as a government, just resign, have an early election in a year's time, which is, it seems, a referendum, and let the public decide and do it all then?
They could do that if they wish, but it's up to them to make that decision. But they
very unlikely.
All I can say is that Ackerman they called it before. Boy, will the white got Ackerman trouble you, boy. And most people wouldn't even understand that. But they have a problem. They have a problem by responding the way they did. And where my concern is that this initiative, I don't believe, would have gained as much traction were it not for the response from the government to the people when the people started it. Forget about Mario. I don't want to hear about Mario Rankin. I don't want to hear about Johan. I don't care who they are. They are citizens exercising the right. How they did that, that's different people exercise their rights different ways in how they express it. That's their business. But government has a responsibility to respond to them in a manner that shows them respect. And I believe that this country, the people that I know, don't like that kind of arrogance, boy. And they...
From the part of the government is what you're talking about.
Yeah. They don't like that kind of arrogance. And if they came out then, and between now and when that vote is called, I would advise the government to be careful. Because, and I would advise the people to come out and vote. They need to, because I said earlier about, we're not running a fish up. But whilst I say that, I also say that it has to be done respectfully. We don't get it right all the time, and Mario called in earlier about and he's right, you shouldn't wait 4 years to be able to express your position to any government. But we don't get it right all the time. We try. But when the people are looking at you and saying, you don't have this one right, and I want you to reconsider it, you better be cognizant of that democratic process, and they have a problem. They have a problem. How they get out of it, How
you do it in football? You take a knee and you rethink your strategy.
And I hope it's not. I hope it's not what a friend of mine just sent me. It says, "Heaven should be the head that wears the crown, no matter how empty the head is."
No matter how?
How empty the head is.
I just want to make sure I heard that properly.
I ain't concerned about riots like Hong Kong and all that, but
yes, sir.
But there will be consequences.
Respect, not arrogant. All right.
Always.
We have witnessed, and more recent than not, what arrogance gets you in this thing called politics. We have witnessed that.
Yeah.
And you always humble yourself, we run out of time.
Yes,
but I'll tell you this quick. We all have people come to us from time to time. They're going through some hardship, and they need us to help them. And I ain't talking about handouts. I'm talking about really helping somebody. But because that person has humbled themselves and come to you and asked you to help them, doesn't mean that you're any better than them or any superior to them. You still answer to that person. That's still your boss.
You're just in a position of
service. You must never forget that in politics. Never.
Well, the boss today is Susan, and Susan has been gracious.
She got fired all of us today.
Mr. McLean, to you, to Mr. School, and all of the elected members, it's good to be able to have access. I trust that we will continue to serve with humility and honor and dignity and respect, as you shared, Mr. McLean. Gents, enjoy the rest of your day. If I'm here and hosting this show, don't be shy. Join us on times. I'll talk to the evening. To our listeners, please come back for Talk Today right after the midday news. It was an honour to sit in for Mr. Hart. I mightn't write as fast as him. I mightn't be as handsome as him. But hey, I'm younger. I can see that without any question. Come back for Talk Today. See you soon.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. K-Man Pharmacy Group, with a location in West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The K-Man Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Seaboard Marine, with over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates. Rotary Central, for more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. Fidelity Bank, for all your banking needs, visit fidelitygroup.com. Fidelity, we're good for you. And Roper's Janitorial, complete janitorial service for commercial, industrial, and residential. They get the job done right every time.